Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelly and I am sharing my Inktober journey. I am happy to report that this week has gone a lot better than the last week. I'm feeling really good. Even though I was behind for 2 days for a little while, I really started to get in the groove and really enjoy drawing every day. So this here is day 8's piece, and I decided to do a little something different and save myself some time from not having to do washes and waiting for the ink to dry. I did find this image of a frog skeleton on Pixabay, and I thought it was perfect for the full page spread that I wanted to do, so I went with that. So my reference is from Pixabay today. And I did run into some challenges with this one. When I started to get to the little feet and the little hands, or the little feets, I guess they're all considered feets, I wanted them to look symmetrical. So what I did was I drew the one side, and then I traced it onto some tracing paper, flipped it over, and then transferred it to the other side so the whole spread would look really symmetrical. I'm happy I did that, but I'm also a little sad that I didn't have my iPad. So it's definitely becoming a challenge trying to figure out problems that I would easily be able to resolve on my iPad and trying to figure out how to resolve them in person. And I think I did a pretty good job of making sure that everything was symmetrical and nice and cohesive on the page. So I'm really happy with how this one came out. I do have to say that I'm really happy with the fact that I picked bones as my theme this year for Inktober, because in the beginning I was very nervous about it, freehanding all the bones and everything like that. And I'm slowly but surely getting more and more comfortable with it, and I feel like I'm one step closer to being able to design the creatures I want to design in the future. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear the birds in the background. For some reason, they're extra loud this morning, so I do apologize if you can hear that. But yeah, I think this spread is definitely one of my favorites. And I really had a good time with this one. And the more I fill this sketchbook with each drawing, the more excited I'm getting about finishing the challenge. I do think this format of filming is a lot more manageable than the stuff that I used to try to do in the past with the daily videos and things. However, I did find myself a couple times this week not wanting to be in the office. Like, I wanted to take my sketchbook outside and just kind of work out there, or like upstairs in my bed and watching Netflix and things like that. I'm not really a fan of sitting in the chair that long, so I'm definitely having to make myself get up and walk around a little bit. But aside from that, like, doing the actual artwork every day isn't a big deal. I do think maybe next year, if I do Inktober, I'm probably going to X-nay the filming and maybe just do a few TikToks or something like that, just to make it easier on myself and make it more travelable, so I can draw and paint wherever I would like. Plus, I feel like it's time to shake up October on my channel, so I would like to have some different kinds of content instead of just Inktober all the time. But anyway, here are some close-ups of the frog skeleton. Like I said, this one is one of my favorite pieces. Even though it's very simple, I feel like it was a challenge to do, and I'm really happy with the outcome. Also, my analytics are telling me that 80% of you are not subscribed to my channel. If you do like this type of content, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can get updated on all of my videos. Okay, day 9. Okay, so for this one, I was definitely in a mood, and I was officially 2 days behind at this point, which was fine. I think I took one day off. Yeah, because I was getting my my bookmarks ready for the store, so I took one day off so I could update my shop and reopen it and stuff. And the anxiety of being 2 days behind was really bothering me this day. And so to incorporate the bones, I decided to do a little middle finger skeleton hand and make a bottle of piss off potion. And it's not meant to be vulgar. It's kind of more like Harry Potter-ish, like piss off, mate, you know? It's nothing too dramatic or whatever, but I was in a mood, and I am sorry if this piece offends you. You can skip ahead to the next one if you would like. But it is, to this date, one of my favorites also, and I think I'm going to make stickers out of this one. Not quite sure. But yeah, I was very hesitant of drawing and filming this one. But, you know, I mean, like, I do feel like it's important to be authentic. And I am 36, you know, I'm not a little kid or a teenager or whatever. Like, I'm a grown adult, and, you know, I'm sorry, but we all swear. So I'm just kind of trying to show a little bit of my personality, and it's definitely not meant to be vulgar, but I do really, really like this piece, and I had a lot of fun while I was painting it. So, I mean, sometimes you just got to do the things that make you happy. So, this piece makes me happy. I do have to think of some more things to talk about during these videos. So I guess if you guys have any questions or topics you want me to cover, since I have to do this really long voiceover, leave them in the comments, because I would really appreciate your help. Definitely running out of things to talk about, and I don't want to be like, oh, I did this, and I did this, and I did this, because it seems very self-centered. So I'd like to maybe give you some tips and tricks, or anything that I could offer you. So if you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment section so I can use them in the next video. I do have to say, though, I do really, really like this concept and this idea of having a themed sketchbook. And I think that's going to make it very easy for me to fill up sketchbooks more. Because I am struggling. Like, I work in sketchbooks all the time, but, like, I tend to rotate. So I haven't officially filled up one yet. And if I do complete this challenge, I will officially have my first sketchbook filled. And the theme seems to help me fill up a sketchbook, and it's a nice cohesive body of work, and it's a lot of fun to try to come up with another piece to go along with a certain theme. So I am really excited, and I think I'm going to keep that as a running thing as I work in my sketchbooks, like have some messy sketchbooks and then have like some themed sketchbooks. I think that would be a lot of fun for me to do, and if you're having trouble filling up a sketchbook too, I mean, that might help you as well. So, anyway, here are some close-ups of the piss off potion bottle. I hope you like this one. I hope you weren't offended by it, and if you are, I'm sorry, but I really like it, and I don't know, I keep saying they're all my favorites, but that's not true. I think this one and the frog skeleton are my favorites so far. Anyway. Day 10. At this point, I was still trying to play catch up. I don't think I officially caught up until yesterday, which would have been the 13th prompt. So I started to draw a skeleton hand, and as you'll see, it does go off the page, but I didn't really care, and I just kept drawing anyway. And you know, that is part of the challenge of drawing in a sketchbook. You have to kind of like make sure everything fits on the page. So it's quite obnoxious, but I didn't want to keep erasing and redrawing this one. So I just kind of went with it and let it run off the page, and decided to do a different type of background for this one. And I used a lot more sepia color so it would kind of match the piss off potion on the next page. And though it's not my favorite, I wish I kind of would have just left it without the background. But I do feel like as a spread, it kind of works. This piece was also pretty challenging, just because of the fact that it was a hand, naturally. So it, it was challenging and awkward, and I'm not 100% happy with how it came out, but I figured the hands being on a spread would be cool. I definitely had an easier time doing the middle finger one, and I feel like that was because it was kind of like balled up, so like I didn't have to really worry about the outside shape and just kind of focus on the details on the inside. But this one, like struggling with the finger length and the bone length and how they were, I don't know, it was just challenging. Hands always suck, and all the artists know that, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. And here are some close-ups of this one. I do think it does go very nicely together as a spread. Okay, day 11. So for this day, I kind of wanted to draw a little simpler of a shape instead of having all these fingers and bones and all these delicate things, because I was still 2 days behind. So I decided to go with a shark tooth, more specifically a megalodon tooth. And I was very grateful for the simple shape of this one, just so I could catch up, you know, like the stress and the anxiety of being behind was a little bit in the back of my mind at the whole time of this painting, but I was just able to calm myself down, if that makes any sense. Like I was like, oh my God, nothing bad is going to happen if I don't post today. And I feel like social media is very toxic right now, and it's just, to me and my mental health anyway. I don't mean like toxic in general, but I mean it is toxic if we're being honest. And I don't know, there was just something about it that was really irking me that day. And then I just kind of was like, relax, Kelly, it's not a big deal. Nobody's gonna be like, oh my God, you didn't post today. Oh my God, where's your drawing? You suck. Like, none of that was gonna happen. So after I convinced myself of that, I just painted, and I was perfectly fine with the rest of the time. I do feel like that's a really big issue, though, with a lot of people this month. It's not so much as the actual doing the art challenge and doing it every day. It's the pressure of having to post, the pressure of having a nice picture of your piece, and then you get almost instant reaction, and if you don't get validated in a sense, it really tends to kind of bring people down and make them not want to try the next day. At least that's my kind of thing about it. So, you know, it's the social media part of everything is pretty rough, especially on artists, I believe. Here are the close-ups of the shark tooth. Day 12. Okay, so for today, this was catch-up day. I had to do 2 drawings today to officially catch up, and it was the 13th. So I officially gave myself permission to do a teeny tiny drawing, and I think that it made this spread look so cool, especially in contrast to the megalodon tooth, and then you have these little itty bitty human teeth, and I just feel like, you know, like the theme is nice across the spread, and the contrast between the size of the teeth is also there. So this spread was a lot of fun, and unfortunately it made the time lapse really short. So this is basically it. Thankfully, this piece did not take me long at all, and I was able to do a bigger piece for day 13. So here are the close-ups of this spread and the teeny tiny drawings that I did, and I actually really kind of like this one. I think it's one of my favorites. I don't know. I think I just like them all for some reason, which doesn't make much sense to me because I normally don't. Anyway, day 13. Okay, day 13. So for this one, I really kind of wanted to have like a little environment and bring some nature into it and have some greenery and have like an outside. And I think the majority of it is I wanted to paint some stars. So I kind of went for a tombstone in the outside. That doesn't make any sense. I did a tombstone, obviously, and then there's normally grass and shrubbery around tombstone, so that made no sense. But anyway, I'm just going to leave it in. I was going to edit it out, but at this point, authenticity. I did end up using some masking fluid for this one, and this paper was okay. I think what's in this sketchbook is Fabriano Studio, and it did not like the masking fluid, so it did tear a little bit, and it did stain the paper a different color, but thankfully you can't tell at the end. So I definitely won't be using any more masking fluid in this one, just because it's this paper didn't really like it, if I'm being honest. And I wanted to do a gradient background with some stars and some like leaves and grass, and just kind of wanted to make like a little environment with this piece, because I feel like a lot of the other pieces are very study-ish, so where they're like just the thing instead of having an environment. So I really wanted to, you know, paint some outside stuff today. So that's what I did. Unfortunately, I did have to watch paint dry quite a bit for this piece. I don't like using a hairdryer with ink because it tends to push it around pretty good, because ink is kind of like a floater when it comes, like in watercolor you have sinkers and you have floaters. Well, ink is definitely a freaking floater, man. I mean, it flies across the page. It's just one of the perks of ink, so I couldn't blow dry it to make things go faster, because I wanted the ink to sit very naturally and dry very naturally on the page. So that's my only downer with this one, is that I did have to watch a lot of paint dry. Thankfully it wasn't too bad though, and I'm really, really happy with the outcome of this one. I didn't think I would be. I did have a little bit of trouble trying to get the tombstone to actually look like stone, so that is something that I do want to practice, and I do want to practice a lot of like environments. So I think that's going to be my next themed sketchbook idea, like maybe choose a specific color palette and just do a bunch of environments and nature inspired things, and just try to get the feel of dimension in a piece. Anyway, here are the close-ups of day 13. I really had fun with this one, so I'm really excited and thinking about what I'm going to put on the next page today. And with that, I must leave you guys because I have more Inktober's to do. So if you haven't already, would you please subscribe to my channel if you like this type of content, turn the bell on for notifications, and don't forget to drop a like if you like this video. It really helps me out, and I really, really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.